Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering what the pros and cons are of living in one of New Mexico's largest and fastest growing cities in 2023. And it is also livability.com's top 100 cities to move to this year. So if you're wondering what the good and the bad are about living here, you're going to want to grab a pen and a pad, take some notes, and hang out with us for a bit because we're going to get right into it. Let's go. Now, to give you guys a brief history on Rio Rancho, back in the early 60s, ANRAF came down and purchased over 55,000 acres with the intentions to market to the retired community. Selling everybody on the whole Rio Rancho was a state's idea, and no, by all means, this is another marketing thing to get retired people to move there, because now it's attracting a lot more young professionals. A lot more families are moving over there for the simple fact that they can purchase a big plot of land, build a custom home, or all the new custom home builders are actually moving out there because they're getting better deals on land and the houses are a lot more affordable. Now let's talk affordability. Now, in terms of affordability in Rio Rancho, the average home price right now, which is a super big pro, is going to be sitting around $328, and that's for the average home. Now, when we are talking about in comparison to larger cities like Dallas, salary.com says that we're 11% lower than them in cost of living, and you can expect to pay about $350 in utilities here. That's gas, water, and electric. I don't know. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. What do you guys think? Now, Rio Rancho is very family friendly. You have parks like the Cabazon Park community there that is always hosting events. They got movies under the stars and stuff like that. Community pool as well. And you also have a park above, which is an all-inclusive park that has things for every kid of every age and every kind of group to enjoy there. So if you're worried about how friendly it is, you don't have nothing to worry about. Cabazon and a park above and Loma Colorado Park have you covered. Now, if you're wondering if Rio Rancho has good views of anything at all, or is it just plain desert, you're going to actually be pretty surprised. Rio Rancho has some of the best scenic views of the Sandia Mountains, and they have trails and miles of sand that you can go out and enjoy that nature. Because believe it or not, even though dirt is not the best thing to look at, there's still some green out there, and just some of the scenery that you can experience from being on top of those big hills, overlooking the Sandias, overlooking the city in general, because you can still see Albuquerque from out there. So you're going to have plenty of things to look at, especially if you're going on a night ride. If you just kind of want to enjoy the evening, get up there, get on some of those hills, you're going to have nothing but unobstructed views. And since it's not super heavily populated, Rio Rancho, the Bosque trails over there in Corrales, even down to Bernalillo, they're going to be pretty much all yours, because most of the people are coming down to the city in Albuquerque to enjoy those things on the Rio Grande. So a little bit of a cheat code. If you just want to get out into nature, Rio Rancho is going to have all that stuff for you, and without a whole lot of people around. Can't beat that. Now you're probably wondering, how is the community spirit down there in Rio Rancho? And this is a total pro, because the community spirit down there in Rio Rancho is so tight-knit. People have lived there for generations and just continue to move back there. That small town mindset is still very alive there, that if you ask for a shovel or a rake, they're probably going to lend it out to you, and might even come and help you on whatever project that you got going on, because they like to take care of their community. And that pride in community shows all over the city, from their parks to the roadways to whatever projects that got going on down there in Rio Rancho. People really take a sense of pride. of what they own down there, and it shows. All right, now we're getting into the cons of the whole Rio Rancho thing. And the number one con that I see is that there's very limited things to do in Rio Rancho. Right now, since it's still growing, there's still a lot of things that you have to travel to Albuquerque to do. And like my garden here, still has potential and it still has time to grow. But to say the least, you're going to probably have to travel to Albuquerque if you want to get some of your grocery shopping done. If you want to go to like a Costco or a Sam's Club, or you want to go clothes shopping, you're going to have to go to Cottonwood Mall. That's probably going to be your closest bet. So keep that in mind that you may have to travel outside of the city in order to run some errands. So sad in my garden. Now, if you're looking for convenience as far as your commute goes, Rio Rancho is going to have some of the worst commutes ever. The freeway is not conveniently placed within the neighborhoods. It's all along a bunch of farmland and desert and dirt. So be aware of that. Be mindful that if you are moving up to places like Loma, Colorado, Enchanted Hills, or Cabazon, you're going to find yourself daily commuting through a lot of the main roads like Unser, 528, those kinds of things. And it might work out for you. It's not terrible that you're going to be sitting in hours of traffic like in California or anything like that. But when you have that small town mindset and it grows on you, you are going to get a little irritated when you're sitting in traffic for more than 45 minutes. So keep that in mind, guys, that if you are wanting to move to Rio Rancho, your commute's probably going to be primarily driving through a lot of residential roads, some of the main roads like Unser and 528. So not super bad, but still not one of the best. I'm not saying the job market out of Rio Rancho is terrible, but it's not the best. Two of the major really like employers up there are going to be Intel and the Army, because they have the armory out there. A lot of people that either, in the National Guard or in the service or do something with the infantry are living out there because it's pretty much a hop, skip, and a jump to that armory and Intel. You're conveniently placed in between both of them, no matter what side of Rio Rancho you're living on. But most people that are living in Rio Rancho are commuting to Albuquerque or Santa Fe, believe it or not, to work for some of these bigger retails like the city or the government all together. Or they're coming down to work for like Costco, Sam's Club, places like that, right? So they're planning out their commute a little bit more. Again, we're bringing up the commute thing because it is important. A lot of people don't like to sit in traffic. I personally don't. I'm sitting in traffic for more than 30 minutes. I'm pitching a fit, and I'm ready to get out and just start walking home. I'm not going to do that. I've learned to be patient, woosah, right? So if you are planning on moving down to Rio Rancho, you are either going to work for one of these two big entities, or travel to one of the major cities, or work for a small business, which is really huge down there in Rio Rancho. They really take pride in really pushing that, whoever's opening up a business, they support them a whole lot in between the community and, the government there within their council. They are making sure that these local businesses and these small businesses have a ton of support from either the community or the government themselves. Well, like this fridge with no major food brands or anything like that, we like to keep it nice and clean in here. I guess Rio Rancho likes to do the same because the limited options that they have with their food and their shopping is going to be more of that local base, homegrown, kind of that next door neighbor is running a business or, leased out a building, food truck or whatever. That's really what they tried to pride themselves on, is that local scene and that local vibe. So a lot of the major food brands, you are going to find some stuff out there, but not like in Albuquerque. Hasn't made its way out there just yet. But for a majority, you are going to be running into lesser food options and less shopping options. So you might find yourself doing a lot more traveling to Albuquerque. So as you guys can probably already assume, Rio Rancho, the proximity to Albuquerque in there is going to be neither a good or a bad thing. It's just all going to be perspective. Kind of a little bit of a bonus tip that if you are traveling from Rio Rancho to Albuquerque, try and go through Corrales because it's probably going to be one of the best drives that you have ever had while you're living here. And it's kind of scenic, takes you away from the city, the hustle and bustle. But if you do want to get to Albuquerque within a good time frame, all depending on what side of town you got to be on, Unser or the freeway is going to be enjoyable as well when there's not a whole lot of traffic going on, believe it or not. When you roll down the windows, especially in weather times like this in August, it's going to be nice, cool breezes coming through that window, making it real enjoyable. And if you are planning on moving down here, whether it's the next 30, 60, or 90 days, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line, and I'd love to hop on a quick Zoom call with you guys. That way we can really hammer down on the details and figure out what the next steps are to get you down here to places like Rio Rancho and Albuquerque. But whether you're looking to move to the fastest growing city in New Mexico with a ton of opportunity to grow, or you just want to live in proximity to Albuquerque but not live in the city, Rio Rancho is going to be a place for you guys to look into. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe to the videos, because we are dropping videos every Tuesday and Thursday talking about what our beautiful city of Albuquerque and neighboring cities have to offer. But other than that, guys, I'm going to go in, enjoy some dinner. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.